It's time now for Wrangling Wednesday, a special feature of the Glendale Devotional Podcast. The speaker is pastor, evangelist, and natural horsemanship trainer Ron Plymel. Now, here's Brother Ron.
Well, hello to all our listeners, and thank you for joining us today. And welcome to this edition of the Glendale Devotional Podcast, simply referred to as Wrangling Wednesday. Our devotional thought for today is derived from a story found in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 25. And beginning in verse 14, it states, "The kingdom of heaven can be illustrated by the story of a man going on a long trip. He called together his servants and trusted his money to them while he was gone. He gave 5 bags of silver to one, 2 bags of silver to another, and 1 bag of silver to the last, dividing it in proportion to their abilities. He then left on his trip." Story goes on to tell us that upon his return, the servant who had received 5 bags of silver to invest did so and earned 5 more. The same with the servant who had received 2 bags of silver. He doubled his investment. But the last servant, the one to whom 1 bag of silver was given, did nothing with his investment, just allowed it to lie dormant, unused, untapped, doing no good toward anything for anyone. And he received a curse from his master. And in concluding the story, the summation was very clear. Verse 29 reveals to us, the master said to those who use well what they are given, even more will be given and they will have an abundance. But from those who do nothing, even what they have will be taken away. Can you think of any words that you hate to hear? I can think of a couple of things that I certainly don't like to hear when I am riding a new horse. If someone comes up when I am beginning the mounted work or beginning to get in the saddle for the first time with a new horse or perhaps even their own horse, the 2 words I really don't want to hear are uh-oh or oh boy, and definitely not good luck. And that usually means the horse has evidently been around the block a time or two, and others have not been very successful with being able to ride him or do much with him when they do ride him. In our scripture for the day, we learned of 3 servants who were given a different number of silver bags and asked to keep them until the master returned. Only 2 of the 3 used what he was given in a faithful manner. They received high accolades, welcoming words from the master. He said, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. You have been faithful in handling this small amount, so now I will give you many more responsibilities." The other one, though, allowed what he had been given to remain dormant until the master returned. Then the servant presented back to the master only that which he had been given in the first place. And instead of receiving the glowing approval of his master, this servant received a harsh disapproval of the master. And when we think about our faithfulness with which we use that which God has given to us, which of the 2 categories of servants best depicts your faithfulness to God? Are you using that which God has given you in a manner which will increase his kingdom? God doesn't desire for us to take that with which we have been so blessed and let it lie dormant until the day that we stand before him. If we allow that to happen, it may well be that as we stand before him on that day, instead of hearing the words of approval like, "Well done, good and faithful servant, you were faithful," we may instead hear the words of disapproval like, uh-oh, oh boy. Well, let us all strive to be faithful. And may we all seek to be fully and truly faithful with that with which God has given us. May we strive toward the service and life that would be pleasing to God and reap us words of approving words that we would love and long to hear, versus words of wastefulness, disappointment, and displeasure. May that be each and every one of our goals for today and for this week. Well, thank you so much again for your time today. Until next time, may God truly bless the trails you travel.
To learn more about Greener Grass Ministries and horsemanship, please call Brother Ron Plymel at 662-415-1514. You're always welcome to visit Cowboy Church, which is held at High on the Hog Barbecue, Highway 72 in Glenn, Mississippi, each Sunday morning at 8:30. Or you can watch their services on Facebook. Thanks for listening. Join us again tomorrow for another edition of the Glendale Devotional Podcast.